Hey guys, today I'm going to be working on the PAS 225 Echo Edger. I'm going to be replacing the carburetor, and I'm going to be replacing the fuel lines going from the tank to the carb. First, we're going to take off the filter going to the carb. Just an easy, simple screw out, and it should come the screw and the cover. And then sometimes the air filter gets stuck in there, so it's fine. Just take it out, and we'll set that aside for later. Then you're gonna have to use two T30s, I believe, hex bolts, or hex, not T30, T27s, sorry. You're gonna have to be using the T27s to get the two bolts from the carb off. And you can either use that with a hand drill, a hand screwdriver, or you can use it with a drill. I'm going to be using it with a drill. Just two screws and just slide it off. Slide off carefully. And it should be you should have two long bolts that come out with it, and then the whole assembly with it. I would keep these two bolts and the whole assembly together, and we'll just set that off for a little bit. Next, you're gonna, before we take off the carb, let's go ahead and take off these two, the carb should just easily pop out. Let's go ahead and try to take off the throttle line. So all you really need is either a plier or a wrench. I'm just gonna use pliers to take off the nut right here on this side. Be a little loosening. It's a little loose. Now that it's loose, it's off, and then there's going to be a piece, so you can easily just slide this out, and the carb is off from the cable. Now all you gotta do is disconnect the two gas lines that go to the tank. You might get some gas everywhere if you still have gas in it, but if you don't, you shouldn't. But it's just two pop-offs. Be careful not to rip any of them. Tricky, but there, that carb is off. Now grab your second, I'm gonna also remove this. So I'm gonna open up the tank, and then I'm gonna pull these ones out. I'm not gonna use those. I have a new assembly, but you should just be able to pop out the whole thing. If you get pliers or a flathead, you should just be able to grab it from a corner and pull the whole thing out. But there's a little nub at the bottom. So be careful that you grab it before you take off the gas lines. So that's the part that's inside the tank. You can reuse this, but I'm just gonna replace the whole assembly because I got the parts for it. So if you're also doing this, do what I do, but if you're not, it's fine. So you're gonna take, the way this goes in is this side will go right through this hole up top, and then you'll push that in all the way, and then all it is just, might be a little difficult because it might be a little too big, or not too big, but all you gotta do is just push it in there. Sometimes it can be stubborn. Keep trying this. There's a little stuff. Let me grab a full bag. All right, we finally got it in. I used a Phillips head. It took me a little longer, but I had to use a Phillips head to push down the sides in order to get it in. Now we're gonna put the new carburetor on. So you see this clear, the clear one should be your dump out one. And just to make sure, look in the look in the gas tank and make sure that this line doesn't go to a longer line. Make sure it just stops right after it enters it. So this clear one, we'll go to the skinny one. We'll go to this skinny one right here. And then the one that collects the gas with the thing on the bottom, we'll go to this thick one right here. But the clear one will go to this slim one right here. So we're gonna put the clear one on that one. And then we're gonna put the black one. And we're gonna put the black one on that thick one. Okay, I got the two hoses attached to the carburetor. Now it's time to put it back on. You can, for the mount straight to the engine, you can change this seal. I'm not going to because it looks just fine to me. If yours has a tear or is missing a part, I would recommend replacing it. But if it doesn't, you should be good there. So I'm going to line it up and throw this top assembly. Make sure the orange thing for your choke and your run is on the outside, is on the right side and on the left side when you're facing the carburetor. And then just slide this through, and then use your screwdriver or your hand screw, and then just drill them in. Make sure the holes are lined up. Don't tie them too tight. Make sure these hoses don't have too much kinks in them. Sometimes if you try to pull them or push them, I'm gonna pull them down and on the inside. So it's got room. Get it fitted. Make sure it's not too tight, but make sure it's enough to where it will work. And after you get it put back together, slap this on. Slap this on right here. Oh, well, here's the new filter. Make sure you slap with the indent side. Make sure you slap that down in first. Make sure you slap that down in first. And then just before you put this cover on, make sure that the throttle line is on. It's just a little slit that you have to slide it into. And when you do that, make sure it's the right side, because there's a side that has a square, there's a side that has a circle side. Put it on the circular side. And then once you slide it on, slide the two nuts in between the area near the carb. And then tighten the outside bolt, and that should be good. You might have to adjust it as is, but now let's just go and pull it back together. So as I said, put that indent thing, and then your cover that you have, put that back on. Make sure not too tight, and then pump it a little bit. And then let's see if it runs. So probably put some cold start on it. Flip the switch on, and then just, I already pumped mine to gas. And then just, okay, let's put on run. Well, it's running pretty good. So Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.